How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rowlet, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today, ladies and gents, we got ourselves a few rumors, leaks, and stuff like that about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that I thought we'd take a look at. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get started. First things first is this post right here from Central Leaks that lists down the most recent information in a pretty orderly fashion. He says, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Leaks Part 20. Paldean Pokedex is going to have 103 new Pokemon, 297 returning Pokemon, and 400 Pokemon in total. Now, we do have actually a number we're going to take a look at later, which is more or less the exact accurate one. Outside of the Pokedex, there's 40 plus home transfer only Pokemon. Charizard line can be transferred, so of course Charizard, as per usual, gets its, treatments above everyone else, but only the Charizard line. Other Kanto starters didn't make it. Of course, Charizard makes it. Other Kanto transfer only Pokemon are the legendary birds in either Mew or Mewtwo or both. Leaker insists that the third legendary will be teased in the game somehow, but it's being saved for future DLC. So the third legendary won't be in the base game, according to this. And as far as I can tell, they are not going to be including every Pokemon, and they're also going to be keeping the other Generation 1 starter Pokemon, so Bulbasaur and Squirtle are not going to be in the game, essentially. They're not going to be available at all, okay? You can't get them in this game, it seems like, based on this. There is no, talks about that. Only Charizard line can be transferred, but you can't actually capture Charizard in the game. You can only transfer it from home, and we do not know when the compatibility with home is actually going to be available. We're going to have to wait and see that. Next up is this tweet from our boy Soul Silva, who says, Masuda has tweeted and the YouTube playlist was updated. And this was today, by the way, and we're in the peak of Scarlet and Violet promotion. I wonder if the Pokemon Company Incorporated might shadow drop a trailer or something this week and reveal those 3 Pokemon that they showed in the last trailer. It would make sense to reveal them like a week later and not the Coin Engine Fire, Firebird, like Fire Kid, not as blatant, So basically, it would make sense that the 3 Pokemon we saw in the kind of logo, like not the logo, but the trailer, when we saw that, that should have technically, let's be honest, been revealed now. That should be revealed to us in this moment, but we don't really know. We'll have to wait and see how that actually pans out and turns out going forward. Nonetheless, that's some thoughts right there from Soul, and we'll see if there is a new trailer this week. He also says, I don't believe that the engine Pokemon, which we talked about, that we see on the Starmobile is the true form of this Pokemon, as suggested by Ku, which also makes me think that it's that's not its pre-evolution, but part of whatever this Rotom-like bike and car function is. So basically, somebody here, and this is Chansey, who said, as the new engine Pokemon is kind of merged with a vehicle, I feel like it might become the new Rotom. What do you think? And then here he said same concept, and then it's a Rotom bike. So basically this Pokemon can it's some sort of like Pokemon that can maybe attach itself to other vehicles, literally like a Pokemon that can attach itself to other ones. And then Abui says, is this the same Pokemon or pre-Evo? This Pokemon doesn't look like this or that. In the previous trailers, we're merging with a vehicle. Okay, so they're basically merging together with a brand new vehicle, more or less. And Knight here says, I think it's a lot more simple than that. I think Ka said the engine Pokemon actually has wheels on it naturally. Team Star essentially took their wheels off them so they can plug them onto their cars, which I think is a cool idea, if true, of course, but cool concept nonetheless. Just thought I would share that aspect of it as well. So that's one of the first things. Then we have also this right here. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is a list of Pokemon that are going to be returning. Here's a list of all the returning Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. Some may have small changes in their final version, but this is pretty much it. For Typhlosion, Decidueye, and Samurott lines, you can only transfer the Hisuian variants, which is interesting. Credits in the picture. So this has been kind of revealed to us as the, final kind of solution here of what we're going to be getting in terms of the actual new returning Pokemon. So you guys can pause the video right here and look through this on your own. I'm going to, I'm going to show there's nothing behind my camera here, so it's not blocking. And those are also the credits if you want to look at that. But basically, if we go from the top, it's not including the pre-evolutions of every Pokemon, because that's kind of expected. But, you got Raichu, Nidoking, Nidoqueen, Wigglytuff, Venomoth, whatever, Persian, Dugtrio as well, Berserker, we got Golduck, Primeape, we've got Arcanine, we've got Tentacruel, Slowbro, Slowking, as well as, Slowbro and Slowking, Magnezone, we got Muck, we got Cloyster, Gengar, Hypno, Electrode, we got Blissey, Scizor is in here as well. Of course, Tauros, Gyarados are in there, Ditto, and all the kind of evolutions are in there, with Dragonite as well, Ampharos, Azumarill, Sudowoodo, I think Jumpluff, Sunflora. Also, of course, we have the regular, the Jotonian, the Johto version of Wooper is in here. So Quagsire is also in there. Honchkrow, Mismagius, as well as Faragirif. Of course, we already know that one, which is a new evolution. But yeah, so a lot of Pokemon are returning. You guys can pause here and look through. Some of the ones that make me happy the most is seeing Volcarona in there, but we already kind of knew that because it's getting that, alternate form. Then in terms of legendaries that are returning from previous generations, we know that the legendary birds, so Kanto birds, are returning. We also know Mew or Mewtwo, depending on which one. We got the Hisuian, Typhlosion, and Decidueye, and I guess Samurott. Of course, those are back. And then we also have Greninja apparently confirmed, as well as Landorus, Thundurus, and Tornadus, whatever, they're also back. And loads of the kind of Hisuian forms of Pokemon are actually returning here and going to be showing up. Victini is in here as well as with Giratina, Dialga and Palkia as well, which I think those at the bottom are all transferable. So what you see at the bottom here are all transferable Pokemon. Everything above seems to be Pokemon that are actually generally in the game though, which is pretty cool to me, pretty fine to me. I have no issues with that. Nonetheless, I thought I would show that off. And then here we have a list of some Pokemon that will not be showing up at all. Here's what it says. After Scarlet and Violet's release, the following Pokemon and their lines still won't be available in any Switch game and will still be trapped in Pokemon Home. The following are Serperior, Emboar, Watchog, the Elemental Monkeys, so you guys know which those are, just the monkeys from Generation 5, Zebstrika, Levani, as well as Swanna, Furfrou, Hoopa, Toucanon, and Minior. So yeah, those are not coming. And he says here, the funny thing about most of them being Unova Pokemon is that the remake won't be for Switch, but for the next console. So when we eventually get it, we will have a different Pokemon that are not available in the next console list. So yeah, it is sort of annoying because you can tell that it's a bunch of Gen 5 Pokemon, and it makes sense because Generation 5 is the next generation set to get a mainline remake. Of course, we're going to get a Johto remake within this generation. So within Generation 9, we're going to get a Johto remake. In Generation 10, we're going to get the Gen 5 remakes because that's just how it lines up and how it's going to turn out. So please keep that in mind. A lot of people will start getting excited and happy and or crazy thinking we're going to be getting ourselves something else. But just please remember, we're getting Generation 5 remakes next generation. So that's Generation 10. This generation, right now, all we're going to get is probably a Johto remake in 2024. Next year, it's probably going to be DLC for Scarlet and Violet, because that's been confirmed by the leakers. So next year, Scarlet and Violet DLC. The year after that, probably Johto games. And the year after that is Generation 10. So in 2025, we're going to be getting ourselves Generation 10, and also shortly after that, the years after that, we should be getting the next thing. Also, I think we're preparing ourselves for if there's going to be a new version of the Switch, or if there's going to be a upgrade to the Switch or whatever, because right now it doesn't seem like they're moving more consoles or a new console IDs. Nothing like that has showed up just yet, so we're just waiting to see what happens with that. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for the video, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a like down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace out and bye bye, ladies and gents.